Hello everybody. If you're looking at this, it means that you are interested in a 1960-61 Dodge Town Wagon or Dodge Town Panel. This auction is going to be for this blue Town Panel along with this red Town Panel. Now these are both the late production. This truck is, according to its VIN number, a 1960 Town Panel that has the elongated wheelbase. So basically it's I think 139 inches. It's basically the exact same thing as a Dodge Durango first generation, where it's got the elongated front axle where they pushed it over forward I think 4 inches or something like that from the earlier productions. The front end, basically the front fenders and all that stuff are junk. They have seen better days on this vehicle. However, this red truck, I bought it for strictly parts, and the fenders on both sides are extremely solid. I think the only spot of deep rust is right in this corner here. I haven't dove into this vehicle too much. However, from a quick overview of it, whatever the blue truck needed, the red truck had that was in pretty good shape. The blue truck was on the road up until I believe, let's see here, 2013 is when I purchased it, and I used it just as a vehicle around the yard and plowed with it and everything like that. And then last year I sold the engine out of it, and so it is basically just a shell right now. It did have a 392 Hemi in it. I do still have the transmission for it. I do have a lot of extra parts. I do also have a very good frame for this vehicle, which I will show you later in this video. The vehicle does have, some issues. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna need some new inner fenders. They are pretty well gone. The axles are Dana's. This one is a Dana 60, I believe, that has a posi traction in it. The doors were actually welded up with stainless steel by the previous owner before I bought the truck. If I remember correctly, I've got a second set of gauges. I did put some upgraded seats in there out of a late model Ram that have the seat belts already in them. You have to actually have battery power going to the seats in order for them to unlock. It's kind of a safety feature, security type thing. It does have the wiring all set up for a plow. However, I believe I'm going to be taking the joystick out, and somebody has requested it from me. It does have line lock on it. That's basically your parking brake. It's got an electric brake. It's an old school style where it's actually got the hydraulic line that runs into it. It was a manual transmission. It is also four-wheel drive. I don't recall off the top of my mind what transfer case it is in it, but it is a divorced style transfer case, so you can run a two-wheel drive transmission in it. It does have a PTO. I won't get underneath here. You can see the exhaust and everything like that. It does have the band style parking brake. You can still buy the actual bands, or you can get them refurbed. There is a hydraulic PTO pump that is not included with this auction. However, there is the front PTO that does go off to I think this is a Tulsa a Tulsa hydraulic winch, which actually does work really good. Worked really good up until the point where I snapped that cable. Now there is, if you notice, there is a tab here and a tab on that side, and what that was that was actually made so that you could have a big A arm for the winch. So if you wanted to pull something up out of the ground or whatever like that, you could hook basically this big A frame up to it. I can't take credit for building it. It actually was on there when I bought the truck and the gentleman gave it to me, so I will pass it on to the next owner. I do actually have, I believe, this insert that goes down here for the aluminum. I have another one of these. The plow pump and bracket are spoken for, so those will not be on the vehicle. The front axle is the older style Dana 44 closed knuckle. I do actually have a Dana 44 open knuckle with the manual locking hubs that are included with this auction. I will show you that in just a few moments. It does have the stainless steels on it. The glass will just need to be replaced in several spots. The windshield is actually in really good shape. It does have a little bit of delamination down at the bottom. However, it is still very acceptable for a daily driver. You can actually still get this glass. If you are interested in it, I will provide the information as to where you can purchase it through a third-party Mopar company, and they actually source them used. I believe Safelite does make them. However, I've only spoken to them once, and they did believe that they actually do have the stamping patterns for it. You might have to wait a couple days for it, but I do believe they said that they do have it. The interior steps are in pretty rough shape. On the passenger side on this one is in really bad shape. However, if you come over to the parts truck, the steps are in phenomenal shape, and the floor is actually in really good shape in this parts truck, except for where they patched in some heavy steel here. Now this truck here, I would never classify it as being able to go on the road ever again. Number one, it's got a Jeep steering wheel cluster in it, and what has actually happened was somebody has at some point